Ubiquiti just released UniFi Express, and this is one of the most innovative and versatile products I've seen them release in some time. UniFi Express is a standalone router and firewall with a built-in Wi-Fi 6 access point. It also has UniFi OS and UniFi Network built in, meaning that you don't need a separate cloud key or UniFi controller to manage this device. UniFi Express is the UniFi controller. But that's not all. You can expand your UniFi Express network with additional UniFi Express nodes that are either wired or mesh wireless. You can even add a UniFi Express to an existing UniFi network. So for example, if you have a UDM Pro, but then wanted to use UniFi Express as supplementary Wi-Fi, or since it has an Ethernet port built in, you can use UniFi Express as a wireless mesh backhaul to your main router and provide additional wired connectivity to your remote location. Awesome. Now we're going to cover all of these scenarios and more in this video as we dive deep into UniFi Express. Let's start by talking about the specs of UniFi Express. UX is the model number, and at the time that I'm recording this, we don't yet know the MSRP, but I will pop it up on the screen if I have it by the time UniFi Express is being released. Hey everybody, Future Chris popping in here to let you know that the MSRP on UniFi Express has been set at $149, which is actually pretty amazing considering that the UXG Lite I reviewed last week is $129. But doesn't come with UniFi Network on board and also doesn't have a Wi-Fi 6 access point. I'd personally much rather spend an extra $20 to get all of the features of UniFi Express. Okay, back to the video. So first off, this is tiny, right? It measures just under 4 inches square and just over 1 inch high. It has 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, one for WAN and one for LAN, and it also has a built-in Bluetooth radio for adoption using the UniFi app. The built-in Wi-Fi 6 access point is 2x2 multi-user MIMO with a max transmit power of 22 dBm in 2.4 GHz and 25 dBm in the 5 GHz spectrum. UniFi Express features a small LCM status display screen on the front. Now, it's not a touch screen, but it does give you some useful info. When it's connected as a router, it shows you throughput as well as connected devices and clients. When it's functioning as a mesh access point, it displays the wireless signal strength. And the whole device just sips electricity using only 10 watts of power max. UniFi OS and UniFi Network are built in, meaning that you don't need to have a separate UniFi controller to manage this device, like a cloud key or something. It can manage itself, along with other UniFi Network devices as well. But realistically, this device is designed to be used in smaller deployments, right? Apartments, homes, maybe like super small businesses. If you actually did have a ton of UniFi devices, you're going to want to upgrade to one of the more robust UniFi OS consoles, such as the Dream Machine. But connecting some extra access points, UniFi Express nodes, or network switches shouldn't be an issue with this device. Let's talk about how it can be used, because it is pretty versatile. Most simply, this can be the router, firewall, and access point for your network with one additional LAN port that can be used to plug in a wired device or like a network switch. This is how it's typically going to be used in a small home or apartment. If you need additional wireless coverage, you can add in additional wired UniFi Express units into the network. Now these can be added to any UniFi network controller. You can have a Dream Machine or a Dream router as the main router, and then sprinkle in these UniFi Express nodes where you need them. For example, if you had one of these in your home, but you also wanted some extra wireless coverage in your garage, you can just wire up more units and they're going to broadcast your wireless SSIDs. You do need separate power for each device though, and these are not PoE capable. UniFi Express can also function as a wireless mesh access point that provides Ethernet connectivity to your remote location. So if your internet connection terminated to your living room, but you wanted a stronger signal in the back bedroom, you could mesh in an additional UniFi Express, which would then also provide an Ethernet port for wiring in a computer or a network switch or just some other Ethernet capable device. Just keep in mind that meshing access points together reduces the overall throughput for any device that's connected to the remote meshed unit. When this is functioning as a wireless mesh access point, the front display screen changes to show you the signal strength and quality. UniFi Express claims that it can handle up to 60 client devices, which again points to the fact that this is a device that's designed for smaller deployments. Future Chris breaking into this video one more time because I found out something interesting. UniFi Express has gigabit Ethernet ports. Now typically when you have an internet connection that is gigabit or close to gigabit in speed, the total throughput of the device is reduced when you enable content filtering or DPI in UniFi, such as the case with the Gateway Lite that I just reviewed last week. But I have verified with Ubiquiti that this is not the case for UniFi Express. It was designed for full gigabit throughput even when DPI is enabled. Now, I haven't personally tested that yet, but I absolutely will, and make sure to subscribe to Crosstalk Solutions so that you don't miss out on any future videos. And for all of you naysayers who I know are going to comment and say that this device should have a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, you're thinking of it wrong, okay? Ubiquiti has a plethora of other devices to choose from with faster WAN and LAN speeds. This device isn't for those who are lucky enough to have a gigabit or faster internet connection. I can, however, see this device being extremely popular for people who are looking for an easy entry into the UniFi ecosystem of products. Or for techie folks like me, who are going to drop one of these at my parents' house or my mother-in-law's place or any other small vanilla network that I happen to be administering. I can see UniFi Express becoming very popular for home users and small businesses. But what about for road warriors? You could take UniFi Express, pair it with a 5G or LTE internet connection, and use that in your RV. This setup that I have here has UniFi Express connected to T-Mobile home internet, and it's only pulling just over 14 watts of power. UniFi Express is so versatile that I can see these things selling like hotcakes. So make sure you click the link down in the description below to grab yours today. But I am just one person on the internet with an opinion. What is your opinion about UniFi Express? Let me know down in the comments below. How would you use this device in your daily life? Now, one negative thing about UniFi Express is that it does tend to get pretty warm. I measured up to 130 degrees Fahrenheit on the bottom of the unit, so you definitely don't want to use it in a pile of dried leaves. Alright, if you would like to keep this party going, I have hand-selected 2 videos for you to watch next. The top video is my recent deep dive into UniFi VPNs, and the bottom video is my overview of all of the cool new features included in UniFi Network version 8.0.7.